Hi, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jones here. We had a little bit of an issue and I wasn't able to record class live, so I'm making this little video to help you through your Language Live work today. First and foremost, make sure you're getting 50 minutes a week. That should be about 10 minutes a day. And what I'll do is for everybody on here, it tells me how many minutes they have each day and how many in the week. On Monday, I'll go back and look at the previous week and take however many minutes you have divided by 50, and that'll be your word training score. So don't forget that. You don't forget you have to do that 10 minutes of word training a day. That's your blue tab. Okay, for today, what you're going to do is you're going to go to resources and click on your ebooks. And hopefully by now you have it saved in your favorites. Otherwise, you got to go to the Language Live button and click around and find the Level 2 U1 through 6 student book. And we are on page 8 of this book. Previously, we've spent some time looking at nouns and verbs. So let's use what we have learned about nouns and verbs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on page 8 here called Masterpiece Sentences. Sentences can be divided into two parts, the subject and the predicate. The subject is the part of the sentence that answers the who or the what. The predicate is the part of the sentence that answers the what did they do question, no matter how much detail is in the sentence. I'm going to introduce you to a process for writing basic sentences, then expanding them. It's called masterpiece sentences. In each stage, we will expand our base sentence by answering questions about the noun and the verb that will make the subject and predicate grow. So let's take a look here at their example. Now we're just going to look at the process. We're going to start with just very basic sentences down here, but we're going to take a look at the process here. They start with two basic questions. Choose a noun for a subject. Who or what did it? Choose a verb for the predicate. What did the subject do? Now using an example from our story holes. Who did it? The man. What did they do? Chewed. What did they do it to? Sunflower seeds. Okay. So then what they did was they added a few more things because you could say the man chewed the sunflower seeds. That's a very basic sentence, and that's kind of where we're going to start. Then you could add things like when, where, and how. When instead of smoking, where in his office, how constantly. So then you would have this sentence of instead of smoking, the man constantly chewed sunflower seeds in his office. Then what they would do is they would tell more about the subject. Which one? What kind? How many? And they came up with words like mean looking, grouchy, lone. So then they took those and added those to the sentence they already wrote. Instead of smoking, the lone man constantly chewed sunflower seeds in his office. Then finally, they went back and found one more thing. Instead of lone, or instead of mean looking, they replaced that with icy stare. So they made sure all of their spelling was correct, all of their punctuation was correct, capitalization was correct, and their final sentence, the sentence starts with the man chewed sunflower seeds. Nothing wrong with it, just not a very good picture of the sentence. And it ends with instead of smoking, the lone irritable man who had an icy stare constantly chewed sunflower seeds in his office. Do you see how the last sentence, even though it says the same thing as the first sentence, it gives a great deal more detail? So what I want you to do on this page is I'm going to give you a couple names from the story holes. So let's go with Stanley and Mr. Sir. You're going to tell me what they did and then make a simple sentence out of that. Stanley, you could say Stanley looked. And your simple sentence then would be Stanley looked. Okay? Come up with something that Mr. Sir did and then complete that. Then we're going to take the next step with that sentence and we're going to say Stanley, what did he do? He looked, let's see here. What did he look at? Camp. What's the name of the camp in our story? Camp Green Lake. So then I'm going to put that together and say Stanley booked at Camp Green Lake. Okay, very basic sentence. Nothing, no great detail to it. We'll take those sentences and then we'll add more of those other things to it when we go to the next steps later. So what I want you to do is do your simple sentence with Mr. Sir and then expand it out a little bit, the same sentence down on this side here. When you're done with that, right next to your little profile picture, there's a cloud with an arrow in it on your screen. When you're done, I want you to click that button. That's the submit button. That's what sends it to me and lets me know that you got it done. All right, guys, that's all there is for today. Make sure you do this, make sure you do your word training, and make sure you're keeping up on your books for Mayan. That's all I got for you. Have a great day.